The time is at hand for you to choose. Option 1, God, righteousness, decency, goodness, justice, the law. Option 2, Satan, the Antichrist, the apocalypse, Armageddon. Choose now. Congratulations. You have chosen the apocalypse. And since you have unwisely chosen the apocalypse, you are in urgent need of a guide. Unfortunately for me, I happen to be that guide. Your humble guide, Nicholas. A question. If P.T. Hegseth and Donny Shitbags are not mass murderers, then why not release the tape, son? Must be something they don't want us to see. Luckily for us, Big Jeff Goldberg has contacts all over the government. That's how he ended up in the Signal chat. People selling information. Luckily, Jeff has a snippet for us of what took place in the room as the mass murder took place. That is for later. Let us begin. Okay, someone has a comment. Actually, it's Homeland Dems. If a secret police force can rip a U.S. citizen from their car and throw them into an unmarked vehicle for no reason, then no one in this country is actually safe from this administration. Really? Mass police kidnapping people or mass Gestapo. Who would have ever thunk they would have started grabbing U.S. citizens? Oh, me, 10 years ago. What I've been yelling. Especially since this little force got created, my God. Where did you think it was going, son? And I don't care if you voted for this or not. You're too stupid to realize it coming to knock on your door, too. So many of you it has touched in the first term, and my God, the second. I'm hearing reports of food lines so long, son. That's the Antichrist. That's the Donny Shitbags effect. That's what you fucking voted for. All of our demise. Inevitable thanks to your existence. Nothing else. The reason the person is saying this, or the Homeland Dems are saying this, and it's spot on, what did you think the mass police were for? Illegals? You fucking kidding me? This car, you've probably seen this video. It's been all over the internet for fucking days. They ripped this woman out of the car. They detained her. That's the word they use instead of arrest for legal purposes. I hope she sues the living fuck out of the U.S. government and gets paid quite well. Last number I heard, 170 U.S. citizens have been detained. I'm sure it was just a minor inconvenience. Like this woman getting pulled out of her fucking Toyota Corolla and dragged all over the street in front of the whole goddamn world. I'm sure it was just a minor inconvenience. And, you know, she won't have PSD from those masked goddamn cunts destined for the lake for the rest of her life, right, assholes? Wait till it happens to you, son. And I know MAGA thinks it can't happen to us. That's what got you here, moron. That's why the farm's going under, asshole. This video is goddamn despicable. And the fact that any U.S. citizen or anybody has to worry about masked fucking bounty hunters, untrained law enforcement, coming to kidnap them at any moment, break their window out, whatever. They have a mandate from Satan and the Antichrist to do whatever they want, to terrorize the community. As far as I'm concerned, this mass Gestapo is a terrorist force deployed against America. That's all it ever was, son. And keep laughing about these people terrorizing the American population. One day it's going to come terrorize you. I promise. And I'm a lot smarter than you, son. Unbelievable. Keystone Cash and his girlfriend having the time of their lives using and abusing taxpayer-funded resources and civil servants. Yes, when you hire a cross-eyed freak podcaster with no talent in life whatsoever, they steal from you. That's what happens, okay? Okay, class? FBI Director Kash Patel has on more than one occasion ordered that the security detail protecting his girlfriend escort one of her allegedly inebriated friends home after a night of partying in Nashville. Yeah, you know, FBI agents, security used as fucking taxi drivers for drunks. That's your tax money hard at work for the cross-eyed freak to go party with. Do you realize he had the nerve to say he's not allowed to fly commercial? Okay, rent your own private jet then, asshole. You fucking kidding me? This cunt stealing money left and right from us. Fucking podcaster. That's why you don't make a podcaster head of the fucking FBI. It's fucking the Jerry Springer show here. Oh, it's free? Okay. Let me take 18. That's Kash Patel. The class act. Patel's girlfriend, whatever the fuck her name is, I don't give a fuck, asked FBI agents on her security team. Kash is gay, first of all. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Listen to him talk for 2 seconds, you could tell he's gay. Whatever, I don't care if he's gay. But you don't got to pretend to have a girlfriend and do this whole song dance. Including once in spring to drive her friend home, and agents objected to diverting from their assignment, said the sources who were granted anonymity to discuss non-public matters. In other words, the Reich is hated. So the ship is going to leak like a sieve. Just like last time. Why do you think so much shit went public? Because Donnie Shitbags is goddamn despised. And so is everyone he hires. That's why shit leaks every 3 seconds. And it couldn't happen to nicer people. Shit leaks also because Pete Hegseth decides to have classified chats on Signal. So, because he doesn't want a record of it. Then you'll see it. Then he'll, go to The Hague. He doesn't want that. Patel insisted they do as Wilkins requested, and in one case called the leader of Wilkins' security detail and yelled at him to do so. So, the FBI jet is Patel's personal, clubbing jet wherever in the world him and his girlfriend want to go clubbing. And, when they get too fucked up, they just grab some agents and, they take them home as if they're fucking Uber drivers. Again, when you hire a cross-eyed freak podcaster to run the FBI, they steal from you. Not only him, his girlfriend, her friends, the dog, the extended family. This is Tom Cotton. Obviously, Tom Cotton has gotten the assignment of you're the messenger for the mass murder campaign. Tom was the first one out the room so he could run and tell the reporters that the mass murdering admiral covered for Petey, even though Petey was in a room the whole goddamn time. So he also gets the assignment on the news. Obviously, this assignment was given to him. This is how this shit works. This is from yesterday. I have a little bit from yesterday, mostly a bunch of shit from today later. Would it be legal for police in Arkansas to kill suspected drug dealers on a boat in a lake? That's Berman, the reporter who skewered this motherfucker. Tom Cotton, the premise of your question is not well-founded. Well, why, Tom? Berman, the answer is no, it would not be legal to kill him. Right. You're being a mass murder apologist, Tom. And it's obvious that you got the again, the assignment. It's how it works in the right-wing grift machine. They take turns. Because none of them have any goddamn credibility. Not one, son. Berman again with Tom Cotton. Did you see any evidence of them trying to use a radio in the video you saw? Because the Reich lied and said they were trying to use a radio and they were trying to flip the boat over and still deliver the drugs. Sure they were. Sure, Tom. Sure, Reich. Tom, well, saw lots of evidence of them standing on the boat that had been capsized. Well, what would you do, Tom, if you're floating in the ocean after a missile just blew your boat up? Just fall to the bottom? Not try and save yourself? Again, ridiculous arguments and talking points from the right. They're mass murderers, son. It's that fucking simple. Otherwise, you would have saw the tape by now. And again, I'm going to read you something from The Atlantic that'll really explain to you why you haven't seen the tape yet. Berman, that wasn't my question. Did you see any evidence? No, I didn't. They weren't using any fucking radio. The boat was on fire. They were trying to save their lives. That's it, just like any other human would do when a missile hits their boat out of nowhere, because America decided to install a Nazi Reich who wants to steal resources across the world. All those things Alex Jones said the liberals were going to do. But it was you, son. Always. Never anyone else. So he didn't see any evidence of a radio. That's because there was no radio. It was fucking on fire. Fucking ridiculous. Jeff Goldberg on CNN. Big Jeff Goldberg to you. You better recognize. The Secretary of Defense endangered U.S. pilots by sharing info on a commercial messaging app. Yeah, indeed. He should be fired even just for having the chats on the app. I mean, you guys talked about Hillary's emails for so many years. Yet when a drunk-ass, fake-ass soldier like Pete Hegseth is talking on Signal classified, all kinds of shit, when it should be in a secure communication that the government is in control of. Oh, that leaves a record, though. For The Hague later. Pete can't have that. To add insult to injury, he didn't even know who was on the chat. Indeed. He shouldn't have been using Signal in the first place. Now, I'm not a Houthi rebel, so that was good, but imagine if you had been texting someone who actually wanted to share upcoming attack info with American adversaries. There is a culture where senior leadership is allowed to make ridiculous mistakes and then act as they haven't made any mistake at all. Well, in the Reich, in a Donnie Shitbags administration. Especially. They got a plan. Donnie can't lose these criminals. And I'm hearing rumors he's about to get rid of Noam. He's about to get rid of Hegseth. I doubt it. They're utter sycophants who have completely sold their soul. I mean, look, in the span of 9-10 months, Pete became a mass murderer. And so did Donnie. And Noam became the head of the Gestapo. Mass Gestapo with machine guns turned against us. I saw a video today of them running over someone they arrested, foot. You could hear him screaming when they run over his foot. They sicked a dog on another guy, cuts, gouges all down the side of him. What was the third one? I can't remember right now. I probably have a picture of it or something. So yeah, he should have been fired just for using Signal to talk classified info in order to hide it from us. But then he endangered everyone involved in the mission and America in general by uploading a strike package. and he had classified information, and he had no idea who was on the chat. That's the reality of the situation. And again, if you think that info wasn't classified, if you'd like to make an argument that that information was not classified because you're that much of a sycophant, call up the Pentagon, ask them when the next strike is. See what they say, son. That's all I have to say to you. This is a quote from a detainee, Alligator Auschwitz. 2 people in my cell were calling out to the guards, telling them that I needed my medication. 10 guards rushed into the cell and threw them to the ground. They were taken to the box and punished just for trying to help me. You mean torture? Not bad enough you're kidnapping these people, sending them to God knows where, Rwanda, wherever the fuck. Whatever dictator took the check. You got to put them in a tin box, in the heat, in the swamp, chained to the floor, to the point they can't move, can't sit down, can't do nothing. The man will have a word with all of you. Don't worry. It will be a really bad moment for you. I also saw one of the bounty hunter ICE agents. They grabbed a guy and deported him. The bounty hunters, since they're used to stealing people's property, that's been happening left and right. I've seen the videos. I've seen the information. I've seen the lawsuits. That's the norm. When they take you down, they take your shit too. And no, it doesn't go in an impound yard, son. These are criminals destined for the lake. A pickup truck had GPS that the man drove before they kidnapped him. So some of his family members tracked the GPS. And what they found was the bounty hunter Gestapo agent was using the truck for personal use, going to stores, blah, blah, blah. They finally confronted him, and he started getting all pissed off because he was on camera and his gay-ass wife beater and the whole thing. And he was trying to talk his way out of it. And the guy said, oh no, the thing has GPS. Let's call the police. I don't know what happened after that. That man should have been fucking arrested. These are the type of scumbags that put that mask on and kidnap you. They're thieves, they're scum, they're fat asses, they're bounty hunters. They're all destined for the fucking lake. I promise you. Have fun now. Get the wife beater wearing in. Steal as many trucks as possible. Because when you go down in the war, and you will, I know you'll be on the battlefield for the orange cunt. I know you will. Already know what you're going to do, son. Before you do. Right to the lake after that, son. That's your destiny. Every masked cunt out there. I don't care how righteous you think you are. Lake, fodder. Nothing more. No matter how many you kidnap, sick dogs on, steal their property, whatever you fucking do. Inevitable, son. I promise you. And again, I'm way smarter than you. Unbelievable. Not enough to kidnap these people, ruin their lives, steal their property. You got to torture them at the camp too, at the concentration camp. Are you still going to say Alligator Auschwitz isn't a concentration camp, son? Thou shalt not murder fishermen while pardoning drug kingpins, a new commandment. Yeah, it kind of fucks up the narrative when you're pardoning kingpins that bring in 500 tons of coke, and you're blowing up fishing boats down in the Caribbean saying they're drug dealers. Because I haven't seen one bit of evidence of one drug, son. Have you? Not me. I've seen evidence of mass murder, though. And I know Donnie's the good guy fighting the drug dealers, right, dumbass? Is that why he pardoned the ex-leader of Honduras who brought 500 tons of coke in here? Because Donnie's the good guy, right? No, Donnie's grifting and stealing just like Adolf Hitler. That's it. That's all that's happening. I wonder how many of you dumbasses that troll for Vlad or India or Africa or wherever, how many of you dumbass Americans that are down with this, how many of you will end up on the battlefield at the end? You're not going to have a choice. That's a fascinating thought. I wonder how many. Some of you will. I'll be dead by then. Thou shalt not murder fishermen while pardoning drug kingpins. Indeed, it's a new commandment straight from God. Okay, Pete Hegseth, the mass murderer, is starting to take credit for the mass murders again. That strike the other day that killed, I believe, 4. So add that to Donnie and Pete's body count. The U.S. Southern Command wrote on December 4th, at the direction of Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, Joint Task Force Southern Spear conducted a lethal kinetic strike. Why do they got to call it a kinetic strike? You're just killing people, man. What's up with all the fancy words for mass murder? They won't impress the man. Say that shit in front of the man. It was a kinetic strike, Lord. Oh, well, you know what that is over there? That's the lake, son. Hop on in. Kinetic your bitch ass over there. And that's not a joke, son. That's your destiny. Calling you. So many of you. Calling you. And you're going nowhere but there. And you will never have been. Do you understand that? You will never have been. So I don't understand. One day Pete's not in charge and Donnie's not in charge. When Donnie says on my orders for that specific strike that we've all been talking about, put it on social media. I've read it to you. I've shown it to you. But then the next day, at the direction of Pete Hegseth, I wonder why Pete wants credit for this one, but not that other one. Oh, because Pete's a mass murderer. Never mind. Why am I asking a question? So Pete's taking credit for the mass murders again. You all, breathe a sigh of relief now. Okay, Donnie, since he couldn't get the Nobel Peace Prize, since he bombed like 3-4 countries already, released a mass Gestapo against his own population to kidnap and terrorize them, torture some, deport some, detain, arrest, shoot congresswomen with, pepper spray, really brave stuff like that. I noticed that about a lot of you fat cunts with the masks on. You love spraying women and priests and old ladies in the face. Do you know what the man's going to do to you for that, son? I do. You don't want to know. It's going to be so bad. Think of your worst nightmare and then multiply it times infinity. That's what the man's going to do to you. And again, I'm way smarter than you, son. I know better than to put a mask on, take a few $1,000 to kidnap people. I would never, you know why? Because I know I'm going to have to face the man. And it's guaranteed. It's inevitable. It doesn't matter if you believe in him. He could fucking care less, son. What he does care about is your punk ass. Spraying old ladies, congresswomen. Sicking dogs on people. Kidnapping people. The right can shield you and call it legal all it wants to. Guess who it's not legal to? The man, son. He don't give a fuck what you worthless humans call legal. He'll kill a million of you as soon as look at you. Do you understand? You're nothing. You're ants. Do you know what the man will do to you for pepper spraying women and female congressmen and old ladies? Everyone's going to see it. You standing there naked because your sins have made you that way. While others are robed. And as you're weeping and gnashing your teeth, awaiting 5 seconds to go by before you go in the lake, we're all going to see that. It will not be good for you. Good luck, son. Good luck with the kidnappings. Get him in now. So, I don't know how I got on all that. Donnie, since he didn't get the Peace Prize, since he's a mass murderer, since he deploys our own military against his own population, deploys a mass goon squad to kidnap and terrorize, yeah, they didn't want to give him the Nobel. So Donnie had the soccer people make up a fake Peace Prize just to give to him. That's how pathetic your Orange Messiah is. And my God, it's pathetic. So here's Donnie walking out. This was yesterday. To receive his fake Peace Prize. His participation trophy. This is just beyond parody, man. Aaron Rupar says, yeah. This person says he's like a fat kid getting a participation trophy for most enthusiastic kickball player. It's another picture. Donnie's already got the medal on. I actually think participation trophies for small children up to a certain age is a good idea. Because who gives a fuck which pee-wee baseball team won the fucking game, you know what I mean? At that age, it should be about just everybody getting to play and have a good time. It shouldn't be taken so serious. It's a shame it is. Up to a certain age, I think it's a good idea. When they get a little older, 13, 14, maybe start doing, you know, we won the game and you lost. Just a thought. Donnie likes participation trophies. He got the soccer people to make up an entirely fake prize. No one's ever gotten this before. They made it for him. The concept of putting a medal on yourself. Yes, Donnie put the medal on himself. Can you fucking believe it? Talk about a God complex, boy. Talk about just illness of the mind, of the spirit. Insane. Blow it up even more. Look at this fucking animal. This is how Donnie grabbed the medal. Whew. This is some real dystopian fucking apocalypse shit, man. None of these images, none of this is normal. It's so far away from normal. Whew. That's Donnie grabbing the medal. He doesn't look like a monster at all. Doesn't look like the Antichrist at all. Oh my God. The look on his face. And this is Aaron Rupar making a joke. Excited to award my kids the Burger King Peace Prize this weekend. Indeed, a fake Peace Prize. That's the point being made. What's pathetic is the person you voted for to be in charge of us all, to run this thing, mentally needs that medal that bad. Do you know what level of illness we are talking about here? It's horrifying that he needs a fake peace prize that badly. He made a major organization stage 1. Do you understand the level of mental illness we're talking about? No, you don't, or you wouldn't voted for it, obviously. We're fucked. The problems this country faces because of him, and he's worried about a fake peace prize from soccer. That should horrify you, especially if you voted for it. Oh, some new information on the September 2nd strike. That's the one in question. Natasha Bertrand, alleged traffickers killed by the U.S. military. September 2 were not heading towards the U.S. Admiral Bradley told lawmakers yesterday per People Brief. Instead, they were heading to link up with another vessel that was bound for Suriname. Murdering people, again, I already told you this, and this has been said a million times. These boats are too far away from the United States to make it to the United States. So they're murdering fishermen or some people that are taking drugs or fish or something somewhere else, not even to America. There goes the whole justification, huh? How many times have they told that bullshit? They're bringing drugs to America. We just saved 200,000 lives. No, you didn't, Donnie. You just want their oil. Could care less about drugs. Again, he was a cokehead most of his fucking life till his fucking palate fell out. Or dissolved away, I guess is a better way to put it. Only reason he stopped, I guarantee it. Now it's Adderall and shit like that. And that's according to Noel Kessler, and I take what he says very seriously when it comes to Donnie. He would know. So the boat in the strike in question, not even coming to America. The story keeps changing. The Reich keeps being proven a liar. And son, they still haven't showed you the tape, right? I thought the Reich was so proud of it, though. Why would they hide it from you? I heard it's coming out when the Epstein files come out, you fucking marks. That means never. Because your boy's a pedophile. And a mass murderer, and Pete's a mass murderer. And, you know, Pete had to pay off a few girls before he got his little position here because, you know, they were making allegations. You know what I'm saying? Very credible ones. This is the lawyer. If you don't know, ask somebody. Wow, original reporting suggested the boat was heading for Trinidad, Tobago. Now it seems they were heading to Suriname, which suggests the cocaine on board was eventually bound for Europe, not the U.S. This was absolutely nowhere near the United States. Indeed. Why are we blowing up boats that aren't even coming to America? Oh, because Donnie wants Venezuela's oil. They're also going to steal a lot of minerals and stuff like that. That's the new agenda for the military. Stockpiling. Because everyone knows there's not enough in the world to do these special things. The cell phones, the robots, the AI, all that. Takes minerals, there's only so much. The whole world can't have them. The Reich's going to take them. They're going to take Venezuela's oil too. Inevitable. That's what Hitler did, son, and this is a Reich in the image of the Third Reich. Hitler looked at the world as, whose resources can I steal and use for the Reich's purposes? That's what you're witnessing right now. A little bit of mass murder to start it off, so, you know, we have an excuse. Maybe they'll say like some of these fishermen fired a machine gun at him or something to start the war off. Who knows? All for oil, and ought to let the cartels know down in South America that we want our cut or we're taking it all. You won't be able to do business. We'll blow up every boat we see. People won't even want to get on the water. And that's what they're doing. This is Ted Lieu. Recognize. Hegseth lied after leaking classified information on Signal. He also lied after the second boat strike. He is unfit to serve. Hegseth must resign. Hegseth will never resign. But Ted Lieu's right. Just for using Signal alone, he should be shit-canned. Let alone uploading the fucking imminent strike package. Aaron Rupar commenting on the mass murderer Pete Hegseth. This is catching on, Pete, you being a mass murderer. More people are starting to notice. Well done, dude. Well done. When there's no war, you aren't committing war crimes when you kill people indiscriminately. You're just a straight-up murderer. Yeah. Not that it's right or good, but it's different when your government sanctions, and there's a war going on. There's no war here. There's the Reich wants Venezuela's oil, and the Reich wants to let the cartels know you're only going to do business if we say you can, which means pay us, or we take it all. Straight up murderer. There's no war declared. Donnie's a mass murderer. Pete's a mass murderer. That's not drama. That's just the truth. I didn't tell him to do it. Here's Bobo standing in front of the painting at the White House of the moment. What I notice is like, wow, he's even orange in the fucking painting. And I'm showing you this because I want to remind you that everything centers around this. Just like the story says. It describes this beast, this person, as the person with the wound of the sword yet lived. Multiple times over and over. That's God's way of telling you this is central to this thing. And boy, did they make it central, son, didn't they? The painting's bigger than Bobo. Then there's the coin. Then there's a little statue on his desk. It's everywhere. It's central to all this. Just like the story says. Okay, this is Leon, and Leon just got fined by the EU because of violations of how they like social media run in Europe. I believe it's about 120 million euros or something. To Leon, that's nothing. He's got so much of your welfare money that you gave him. The fine's meaningless. It's more about the statement being made. So let's see what Leon says. Here's a post from Leon. Ex-co-chancellor got the foot up the ass. The EU imposes crazy fine not just on X, but also on me personally, which is even more insane. No, it isn't. Why is it insane? Therefore, it would seem appropriate to apply our response not just to the EU, but also to the individuals who took this action against me. The EU, I'm trying to give you some advice here. Everyone keeps playing games with these assholes. The only thing they understand is you shut it down and they're making $0. I believe it's what happened with Brazil. They shut Twitter down, brought Leon to his fucking knees. The European Union, if you're smart, shut it the fuck down. He'll blow you if you do that. And he deserves it, son. Do it. Because I have about 2 more comments where Leon's inciting fucking the breakup of the EU and violence over there again. Because Leon has to make a point with the welfare money you gave him. Ted Cruz, the European Commission, 140 million fine on X is an abomination. No, it isn't. They should have shut the whole fucking thing down, actually, and fined them 500 billion. It's an attack on a great American job creator. No, he's not a job creator. He's laid off more people than fucking smallpox. In government and out of it. Because that's the corporate cunt philosophy. The shareholders get everything, run it bare fucking bones, and then lay off on top of it. And you know what the man gonna do with you people that operate that way? He's gonna give you what you gave others. Think about that for 5 minutes. So Ted Cruz coming to Leon's rescue because Twitter is a straight up 70% bot farm. Over 70% of Leon's followers are bots. He's that pathetic. He needs that, to have the most followers. Makes him feel good about himself, even if 70% of them are fake. And the EU is finally doing something because this cunt has incited violence over there, is trying to destabilize the European Union just like he did here. And we're over. We're a foregone conclusion. You people made sure of that. But the EU isn't. They're actually the only force of good left now. America's Russia, North Korea, we're gone. We're over. We're evil now. Thanks to you and your Antichrist that you love so much. European Union shut Twitter down completely. Do yourself a favor. It's just a propaganda tool. That's all it's been for a long time. That's why Puff Daddy, Leon, Vlad, the Saudis, and others bought it to destroy America. Congratulations on helping them do that, Roops. And the greedy at the top, who think they'll survive this. Leon thinking of being the first trillionaire. What he should be thinking is he's going to be one of the first ones in the lake. His character is literally in the story, guaranteed, inevitable to see the lake. Nope, Leon wants to be the first trillionaire. And again, most of the money of that trillion is welfare from you. Donnie's mad at someone on Fox. I'll just read a little bit of this. Why would Fox and Friends Weekend, of all things, put on a stockbroker named Peter Schiff, a Trump-hating loser who is already proven to be wrong? Either the show made a mistake or it's heading in a different direction. He thinks prices are going up when, in fact, they are coming substantially down. Gasoline hit $1.99 a gallon yesterday. I'm not going to read any further. He's told this lie about 30 times now that gasoline is $1.99. Nowhere in the country is gasoline $1.99. And everyone knows it. Why does your Messiah keep telling this lie? Why does your Messiah lie as he breathes? Compulsively. He has that illness as well. He's a compulsive liar. He can't even control it. It's the way he's always lived. So for the 30th time, he spouts $1.99 gasoline that doesn't exist. That should horrify you again, son. It's a shame it doesn't. That's why your country's over. This is Leon speaking to a Russian, Kirill Dmitriev, and Leon scum. The EU woke Stasi commissars are about to understand the full meaning of the Streisand effect. And this is what Kirill says. EU bureaucrats have turned into enemies of free speech, enemies of Western civilization, and ultimately enemies of themselves. Ron Filipkowski says X is banned in Russia. Leon, who's aligned with the Russians, who don't even allow X in Russia, is bitching about the EU being commissars, etc. Why doesn't he say that about Russia? Why doesn't he say that about China? Because they're banned there too. Never. Always focused on the EU. Why? Because liberal democracy is there. Liberal democracy used to be here. Leon and Donnie already conquered that dragon, which is you, the dumbass. EU's the last bit. Nothing left after that. It's really interesting how Leon never really comments on fascist, communist dictatorships. Almost as if Leon's in league with them and likes the idea. Leon's definitely a communist in this way. You've given him more welfare than any, 1,000 humans has ever received. So he loves the communal aspect. Not for you, though. He'd rather lay you off. Starve you. Leon's main priority is becoming the first trillionaire and Nazism. And a lot of Special K. And ecstasy. Probably coke, too. Here's Donnie talking shit on Caitlin Collins. Caitlin Collins of Fake News CNN, always stupid and nasty, asked me why the new ballroom was costing more money than originally thought 1 year ago. So, yesterday, Donnie had a fake Peace Prize celebration or ceremony instead of helping you. Today, he's talking about the ballroom and what a news anchor said about it. Really important stuff, right, Rubes? How's the farm doing? Okay? Tariffs ain't hurting you, right? I said because it's going to be double the size. The quality of finishes and interiors has been brought to the highest level. Also, the column span been substantially increased for purposes of viewing. It is actually under budget and ahead of schedule, as my jobs always are. Never under budget, because Donnie needs to pocket any project. There will be a percentage of the loans that come in right in the pocket. Jerome Powell caught him doing it with the Federal Reserve renovation right on camera, right in front of you. I presented it to you. That's standard procedure with Don. Any construction project. And your money's paying for this. I don't give a fuck what no one says. Donnie don't pay for shit. And the billionaires, they ain't really giving him much. So the ballroom, real important ballroom news from Donnie, because that's what he's thinking about as you starve. Oh, this is the head of Palantir. I forget his name right now. This video's been going around for a few days. I wasn't going to talk about it, but then I thought about it. Maybe I should. Because these people are out of fucking control. Thale, Leon, this fucking guy. Hundreds of millions of dollars in government contracts, buys a lot of cocaine. The CEO of Palantir, this is what he looks like. And the reason this video is going around because he was so gacked the fuck up, he couldn't even sit in his chair. He was stirring, moving the chair, trying to get up, but still sitting down. It was horrifying to watch. He was tweaking his fucking face off. And here's another person, another company that got billions in welfare from you. Guess he's spending some of that on coke. Are you proud of yourself, son? It was bad. I've never seen someone that couldn't sit in a chair. They were so gacked the fuck up. They couldn't just sit in a chair. Just like this. Couldn't do it. That's how much cocaine was running through this asshole system. I never seen anything like it. Someone posted this, a picture of Greasy Pete, and that's why I call him Greasy Pete. You can see the grease through 2 screens. Donald Trump is a drug addict. Yep. Leon Scum is a drug addict. Yep. Peter Thiel's a drug addict. Yep. Kash Patel's a drug addict. Yep. Stephen Miller's a drug addict. I didn't know that one, but it wouldn't surprise me. RFK is a drug addict. Yep, smackhead. And no, he didn't stop, son. Don Jr. is a drug addict. Oh, my God. Watch an episode of his podcast if you want to see what cocaine personified looks like. Guy can barely move his jaw. He's so gacked the fuck up. Alex Karp is a drug addict. That's the guy I just showed you. The head of Palantir. Alex Karp. Let's take a look at it. I believe that's him. Gacked the fuck up. So we have a bunch of mostly gay tech people that get a shit ton of welfare from you, and they're all on drugs, and they're all Nazis, and they want to build a technocracy like down in what country was that? El Salvador was one, Honduras was the other one. AI data centers, they're already built. They already got your welfare money. And again, they don't get it in 150-month installments like Snap. They get it all up front, baby. No bigger leeches on society than these people. Don't ever let any of these people talk negative in front of you about someone on welfare. They are the biggest welfare queens ever fucking born. Everything America has produced in 200 years is being given to these cunts, whatever Donnie doesn't steal. Meanwhile, your farm's going under and you voted for this. Meanwhile, your business is going under. Meanwhile, you got shit canned from your government job. Meanwhile, there's mass layoffs. All of them drug addicts. A little bit of parody. This is Donnie Grinch. And my God, the kind of similarity in these two pictures, man. Look at Donnie's hand with the medal. And then the Grinch. It's like the same thing. Donnie Grinch. Well done. Okay, this is Leon not learning his lesson. And again, the EU, I'm telling you, shut down Twitter or fine him again. He will keep inciting violence in your country until you stop him. Do you understand me? Brazil, you saw the experiment. Brazil shut him the fuck down. All the bots and trolls worthless when you don't let him broadcast. Worthless. All the propaganda worthless. All the stabilization efforts worthless. Brazil did it. And Leon came a-running like a bitch. The EU, the entire European Union, shut it down. Or fine him again. Why? The EU should be abolished and sovereignty returned to individual countries so that governments can better represent their people. Dmitry Medvedev says exactly. There's a Russian and Leon, the Russian asset again. Because Leon, I imagine, he's that kind of cunt. Probably ran out of money at some point. Because he's an entitled piece of shit who probably spent it like water. Probably had to turn to Vlad. That means Vlad owns you the rest of your life if you come to the Russian mob once for money. I have a feeling Leon did that. That's why Dmitry Medvedev is agreeing with him all the time. Exactly. So Russia and Leon Scum, who just got fined by the EU, wants the EU to break up. I wonder why all of a sudden. Fine him again, shut down X in your nation, the EU nation. Trust me, it'll work. Cancel Starlink, get off the satellites. Do it now. Because there ain't that many years left for you to slow drag it before the shit really jumps off. Okay, an excerpt from The Atlantic involving the mass murders by Pete Hegseth and Donnie Shitbags. And remember, this specific strike, this specific episode of mass murder, Donnie posted right after on my orders because he wanted credit for him and the devil. Then when we find out about it, oh, I didn't want that to happen. What, on your orders, you fat fuck? What happened to that? No? You don't want credit now? Don't worry, the man will give you credit. And that's what you should be worried about. The suspected drug traffickers, the lone survivors of the U.S. airstrike, were sprawled on a table-sized piece of floating wreckage in the Caribbean for more than 40 minutes. They were unarmed, incommunicado, adrift as they repeatedly attempted to right the remainder of their boat. At one point, the men raised their arms and seemed to signal to the U.S. aircraft above, a gesture some who watched a video of the incident interpreted as a sign of surrender. Then a second explosion finished them off, leaving only a bloody stain on the surface of the sea. Footage of the two men's desperate final moments, this is the good part, made some viewers nauseated, leading one to nearly vomit. It was worse than we had been led to believe, one person told us. Well, again, class and rubes, if it wasn't bad, they would have shown you the tape by now. There's a reason they're not showing it to you. And then sending Tom the Cunt Cotton out to the news channels. Nearly made people vomit. That's how vile it was. Again, son, you have your name on mass murder, Satan, and the Antichrist, and it doesn't matter if you believe it or agree. So goddamn irrelevant. I suggest you take your name off and walk the other fucking way. This is someone commenting on a conversation with Leon and Kirill Dmitriev again, or Kirill's reposting Leon. First, Republicans against Trump. In Putin's Russia, Twitter and pretty much every social media platform is banned. Journalists and opposition figures are being arrested and even killed for criticizing the regime. Yes, Russia is a dictatorship run by the mob, just like we are now. You don't talk shit on Vlad. And social media is banned because we can't have the world seeing what's going on in Russia. Kirill Dmitriev, EU bureaucrats have turned into enemies of free speech, enemies of Western civilization, and ultimately enemies of themselves. Again, this is a Russian. KGB man, I assume. And there's Leon, the EU woke Stasi commissars, blah, blah, blah. I'm mad because I got fined, even though I have $500 million in welfare from those dumb Americans I conned. Yeah, what about you, Dad? Mr. Bitch-ass Dmitriev. Mr. Medvedev. What about you, Dad? I'm surprised Vlad let Medvedev even live. I notice he's really walking on eggshells, making sure that he don't step out of line. Again, everything's banned in Russia. How pure propaganda, pure inversion of reality. The EU is fucking paradise compared to Russia. Do you hear me, son? There's a reason Vlad's been in charge for 37 years. You know what I'm saying? I love how Vlad was in charge. Then he goes away for a minute. I'm in charge again. You're not president anymore. Fuck you. And then Vlad's dictator for life. One of the most evil things ever born is a guy or a thing named Vlad Putin. But he does not have the blessing, son. That's Donnie's. Vlad is as bad as Hitler, do you hear me? Vlad is a white supremacist Nazi himself. This will start a war. I did not know this about China. China has been sending fleets of fishing vessels, large ones, in formation with helicopters and stuff to harass people in other waters. Why? Because they've depleted their waters for fishing. They get in confrontations with people in the Philippines, all kind of different places. They've started sending fleets towards South America. This isn't something you could stop unless you want to start sinking ships. It's almost like an assault. I've seen video of it. They tried this bullshit in a certain territory near Russia, and Russia sent men out with batons to beat the fuck out of them until they left. They don't play that shit over there. But most other areas, they can't really do nothing because China's such a juggernaut, money-wise, whatever. They can send fleets of fishing boats to any region in the world. They have that kind of power and money. This is what it looks like, and this is from a distance. I've seen the videos. It's like an invasion. So this is what this piece of footage, all those lights, those are all fishing boats, large ones, all coming towards Argentina. They're sending these fleets towards South America because their waters are depleted. That means now they're depleting other people's waters. They don't give a fuck about the environment, how they do it. China's never given a fuck about that. Why do you think they have all the manufacturing, son? Workers' rights do not fucking exist. Workers' safety does not exist. Environmental regulations are not even thought of. That's why all the companies move their shit over there. And of course they can pay slave wages. This will start a war. Taking people's food away, far away from your homeland, with fleets of ships. Guaranteed to start a war. And they ain't just doing it in South America either. We are a lot further along than I think most people realize over straight up wars for food and oil and stuff like that. Forever. For the rest of the existence of this paradigm. I just saw a story, 60,000 penguins died in Africa because there's no sardines for them to eat. Chinese can't fish their own waters. There's nothing there. Do you know how big China is? Do you know how many people live there? They still need to eat, son, don't they? Even though their waters are fresh out. That means now they're taking other people's fish on a large scale. And again, damn the environment. How they do it, they don't care. That's not how China operates. China's always been like that. That's why most of it is third fucking world. And it's polluted like a motherfucker. It's inevitable. What China is doing around the world will start a war. I promise you. Argentine Navy aircraft record hundreds of Chinese fishing vessels creeping through its EEZ. The sheer number of lights across the water like an invading locust plague. These predators are going to strip the entire oceans bare for CPC's endless appetite. Yep. This is dire. And the fact that China needs to do this tells me their waters are empty. Again, China, the size of it, they're all still going to need to eat. That means they're taking from everyone else. Again, we're way further along in just straight up wars for food now. Because that's what it looks like when you see these fleets in action and they harass other fishing boats. They send a helicopter to harass them. It's like an invasion. That's why the Russians in one part of Russia were like, oh, no, we don't think so. I'm amazed South America hasn't gotten a few countries together. We got some warships out there and just start sinking boats. Because eventually it's going to happen. Inevitable war over this. Monsters are real, kids. National Park Service removes Juneteenth MLK Day as fee-free days. Fee-free days. Adds Trump's birthday. Again, changing observances. Changing the feast days. A criteria of the Antichrist. Hitler was an Antichrist, and Hitler did all these same things. Remake everything in the Reich's racist-ass image. Donnie's changed several holidays. He's changed many observances for the government. Now he's saying you can't get in free on Juneteenth or MLK, but you can get in free on Donald Trump's birthday, dear leader, Caesar. The racism is deep with you people. Fucking deep. It cost you your country. It cost you this entire paradigm. It's the apocalypse. We in the wind down, son. Guaranteed. Inevitable. I didn't want it. You did. Again, the racism is deep with you motherfuckers. This is for nostalgia's sake. I want you to remember this. Kash Patel had a role in the first coup. Kash Patel was chief of staff for Chris Miller, acting secretary of defense on J6. They denied 14 calls for the National Guard that day. I documented it. I was there. The man lied about it under oath. Yep. I've presented the memo to you before. Mr. Miller wrote a memo to everybody saying, no, if nothing happens, you call us. You don't harass nobody. You don't bother nobody. Everything goes through us. Therefore, Chris Miller, you should be in fucking prison. And I don't believe your bitch ass. I didn't want Donnie to use the National Guard. No, you got installed in the last few weeks with Patel so you can help stage this coup, and that's exactly what you did. I don't give a fuck what you say on the news channels. You didn't fool me, son. Just like Donnie eating hot wings, you also and Patel also sat back for hours as police were beat. And please, spare us. You were trying to help America so Donnie couldn't use the military. Why would Donnie use the military when he's staging a coup with the crowd that's staging it for him? You're bullshit, sir. You belong in fucking prison. You're a goddamn traitor. Patel as well for that day. So always remember that when you see the cross-eyed freak Patel trying to convince you that he's about law enforcement and he's a real leader of the FBI. No, he's just a cross-eyed traitor who used to be a podcaster, who's willing to do anything for Donnie. Also willing to steal plenty of government money and resources from you for his own personal use. So remember that Koch had a role in that coup, so did Chris Miller. Remember where Koch comes from. Another motherfucker should be in fucking prison. Why do you think they were given the jobs the last few weeks after Donnie already lost? January 6th, that's why. Trump on defense disputes ice pepper spray attack on Rep. Adelita Grijalva. Well, here's the thing. And here's the Donnie post. I'm not going to read it. But here's Donnie lying, saying the Reich did not do this to her. Here's the problem, jerk-offs. There's video. Just like there's video of your Messiah and Jeff Epstein partying at Mar-a-Lago. Just like there's video of Donnie and Pete's mass murder spree. Just like there's video of the coup staged on January 6th. And no, it wasn't the FBI. And it wasn't liberals dressed, Antifa dressed like you idiots. No, I'm sorry. It was just a coup. There's footage of that. There's footage of the FBI raiding Mar-a-Lago because they tried to be nice about it and say, hey, Donnie, could you give back those 3,000 documents you stole so we don't have to embarrass you? Donnie said, fuck off. They're mine. And Vlad's. There's footage of them raiding Mar-a-Lago and seizing the 3,000 classified documents. I know it's fake, right, Rubes? No, your existence is fake. You were never here. Lest you turn away and make yourself alive for the first time in your life. So again, Donnie disputes it, but unfortunately, there's footage, asshole. Another lie. There's footage of it all. Your boy's a pedophile. Your boy's a mass murderer. Your boy's a compulsive liar. Your boy's a Nazi, a racist. So many things. It's incredible, the thoroughness of his evil. Yes, Donnie's Gestapo sprayed a congresswoman because that's how brave those fat masked fucks are. They're such tough guys. This is Ted Lieu again. Recognize. I read the classified legal memo and disagree that military strikes on drug boats are legal without congressional war authorization. Yeah, me too. I disagree as well. Just mass murder. That's all it is. But nothing in the memo would authorize strikes on boats not even headed for the U.S. That's another kind of damning piece of information, that the boats weren't headed to the U.S. That's just straight up murder. Someone else said that a minute ago. Oh, Aaron Rupar. Same exact phrase. Yeah. DOJ must open investigation. And it's from New York Daily News. Destroyed boat hit with double tap strike wasn't headed for the U.S. That's known now. All the lies just continue to unravel. That mass murderer Hegseth, that mass murderer Donnie, keep telling. And again, Hegseth took credit for that last strike. I read it to you. Donnie took credit for the September 2nd strike. On my orders, remember? Oh, I want to say thanks, Rubes, for this again, because your vote for Donnie Krasnov was also a vote for Vlad. If Donnie wouldn't have won, this probably wouldn't have happened. Unless it happened before he won, I can't remember. I remember yelling my face off about it. And before I start, let me just say, I fucking hate you! A Russian drone strike has compromised Chernobyl's protective shield. This happened a few months ago. I was on camera screaming about it, calling you dumbasses. The IAEA says the new safe confinement suffered damage in February that left it unable to fully perform its core safety functions. That's not all the news. What really the news is, the IAEA said it can't stop radiation anymore. Well, why would it be able to when there's a goddamn hole in it? Because of Vlad fucking Putin. Back when this happened, I think it was February or something. Is that what that said? I told you what Chernobyl means, right? Wormwood. And I've known that for years. So I always assumed the wormwood thing was some type of radiation. That could come from a comet. That could come from nuclear power plants melting down. That could come from Chernobyl getting blown the fuck up. Fukushima's leaking radioactive water every, I don't know, once or twice a year. They just dump a whole bunch right in the ocean. There's nothing else you can do with it. That's why you can't talk about it in Japan. So, yeah, that radiation's been being dumped into the ocean since it happened. What was it, 2011? No, it's not a secret. Except in Japan, you're not allowed to talk about it. They throw you in jail. Last place on earth where I would go is Japan. Just because of Fukushima. I don't care what anyone says, son. They never contained it. They have the water they sprayed all over it to keep it cool in tanks. They have nowhere to put it. Dump it in the ocean. Vlad Putin struck the Chernobyl dome. And it doesn't work anymore. The Russian trolls online and bots would say, it was a false flag. Yeah, see, that's so Russian. For them to tell that bold of a lie. Yeah, the Ukrainians said, I'm sure, you potato and vodka-eating bastards. In a third world shithole. I'm sure Zelensky and the Ukrainians said, just to make Vlad look bad, we'll put a hole in Chernobyl and irradiate our own fucking citizens. No, what's more likely is your psychopathic, satanic waste of oxygen called Vlad thought it was funny or did it by accident. Because I don't know if Vlad realizes he's right over the border. His bitch ass would get irradiated too. I guess he just doesn't care. And again, I gotta say thanks, Rubes, because you voted for him too. And please let me remind you that I hate your fucking guts. Take a look. Cunts. U.S. manufacturing shrinks for ninth month as new orders fall. It's almost as if Donnie's just grifting and we're not getting any manufacturing and there's mass layoffs and higher prices and AI data centers are jacking up everyone's electricity and using up all the water. Again, it's almost as if it's just a grift or something. And he's not really bringing any jobs or any manufacturing. And 21 trillion in investment isn't coming in. Huh. The lawyer again, not only did the government initially lie about where the boat was headed, but administration officials repeatedly suggested in the early days that the boats had fentanyl on them, something they now openly acknowledge is not true. So if they lied that it had fentanyl in the beginning, and I remember that, and it didn't have fentanyl, then did it have drugs at all? Again, the Reich puts me in the position of I can't believe a word you fucking say because the story changes every 3 seconds. So I'm wondering again, were there even drugs at all? Because I've seen no evidence of any drugs on any of these boats. Secretary Marco Rubio told Traveling Press shortly after the strike that the alleged drug boat targeted was probably headed to Trinidad or some other country in the Caribbean, not to America, so why are we blowing it up? Not that we would have the right to blow up a drug trafficker at all. Just murder. Okay, haven't heard of this person, Joe Lonsdale. He's in the Leon Pete Thale PayPal clique. Now, the phrase PayPal Mafia often gets used. Pete Thale has nothing to do with PayPal anymore. Leon Scum has nothing to do with PayPal anymore. I don't know if this Lonsdale person does, probably not. I forget who, I just looked it up a few months ago because someone raised the concern. I don't think Lonsdale's involved either anymore. So disregard the PayPal Mafia thing. PayPal Mafia Palantir billionaire Joe Lonsdale, oh, he's a Palantir billionaire as well, huh? Calls for scrapping due process and instituting public executions for the sake of masculine leadership. Charlie Kirk talked about public executions. A lot of these tech assholes want to take us to that kind of world, son. You know where else it talks about public executions? In the story, son. That's how I knew they were going to happen. So interesting, in the year of our Lord 2025, we've got tech cunts talking public executions. We've got podcasters talking public executions when he just happened to get executed in public, interestingly enough. Public fantasies of state violence suggest tech elites are entering a more dangerous and desperate phase of radicalization. It's called Nazism. And a lot of the top Nazis were gay as well. And again, that's not a slight on gay people. Those specific gay people decided to be Nazis. These specific gay people decided to be Nazis. If you're wondering why none of them like women, now you know. So this is Joe Lonsdale. If I'm in charge later, we won't just have a 3 strikes law. We will quickly try and hang men after 3 violent crimes. And yes, we will do it in public to deter others. Our society needs balance. It's time to bring back masculine leadership to protect our most vulnerable. So Mr. Lonsdale, who took a bunch of your welfare too, probably, it appears, wants to protect our most vulnerable. No. I want to know why public executions are being discussed again. Oh, that's right. It's the apocalypse and these people are of Satan. There will be public executions. I've told you this before. Yeah, it's going there, son. How do I know? This guy right here. He ain't the only one talking about it. What I don't understand is if death, again, and eugenics and executions are so great, why don't you start with you guys? No? You only want it to happen to other people. Despite all the people you probably had whacked, right, asshole? Probably use other people's welfare money to pay for those whackings, too, I bet. Leon and Pete, too. How many people have you killed? And you're talking about others being violent and publicly executing them. What about you? The man knows of your murders, no matter how desperately you want to hide them. Good luck with that. Again, Leon, and this is Radoslaw Sikorski. He's the Deputy Prime Minister of Poland. And Leon again says, how long before the EU is gone? Abolish the EU. And that's why they should shut X down, and that's why they should fine him again. He's doing it specifically to incite. That's his only go-to tactic. That's the violent inclination of these fascist cunts that were born filthy fucking rich. They're all the same. They're like clones. None of them have an original thought. So Radoslaw Sikorski says, go to Mars. There's no censorship of Nazi salutes there. Well done. Well done. Okay, this is Leon getting community noted. Talking to Kirill again. The same comment I read you earlier. EU bureaucrats have turned into enemies of free speech. And Leon says the EU woke Stasi commissars. So he got community noted. The Russian government has banned X. Russian citizens cannot access X without a VPN service. Do you find this helpful? I do. So you're telling me, not that I don't already know, that Leon Scum is an abject hypocrite in league with Russia and trying to destabilize the EU. Thank you. That's all I needed to know. Dan Bongino had to admit that he was being paid to say things. I've been telling you, the right-wing machine, the grift machine, they're all that. They all have some nefarious financier, Russia, that RNC, this group, that billionaire, this evil fuck, this fuck destined for the lake. That's what the whole right-wing machine is. Why do you think it's so well funded? FBI Deputy Director Bongino was reminded by Hannity that he said the pipe bomber was an anti-Trump insider. Bongino reminded him that was when he was paid for his wild conspiracies. No, he was paid to say things. Talking points given. Because the pipe bomber has magically been found, and it's like a mentally challenged black dude that loves Donald Trump. And it's not an anti-Trump insider that Bongino was paid to say back when he was a paid shill. So another literal paid shill podcaster got a major job in the Reich. And he admitted he was a paid shill. Holy fuck. What a joke, man. Donnie Jabba. Very striking resemblance. Donnie Jabba. Okay, Petey did a little interview. That's Pete Hegseth, the mass murderer. A little sit-down quickie thing, and of course he didn't want to answer certain questions, and you could tell he really wanted to change the subject. And again, Pete wears all his emotions and agendas on his sleeve, and he's drunk most of the time. That makes it even more telegraphed and obvious. Defense Secretary Hegseth declines to give a direct answer when asked by Lucas Fox News yes or no, if he'll release the full video of the September 2 strikes. Says we are reviewing it. That's not all he said. He went on a whole rant. And at the very end, he said, we'll see. Little children's out there. When you go to the store with your parents and you see something you want for $72. It's not your birthday, it's not Christmas, but you want it. So you ask your mommy, your daddy, can I get that? Daddy, please? I really want it really bad. And daddy broke as fuck. So he says, well, maybe for your birthday, we'll see. And you know, even as a little child, you know that means you ain't ever getting that fucking thing. So when Pete Hegseth says we'll see, we know what that means. And we're reviewing it. Wait a minute. People were just watching it the other day. You sent bitch-ass Tom Cotton out to lie about it and cover for you. Why can't we see it, Rubes? Why can't we see the Epstein files, Rubes? Because Pete and Donnie are mass murderers and Donnie's a pedophile. That's why. Only reason. We're reviewing it. Again, coward Pete Hegseth avoids answering if he'll release the video showing the survivors killed in the Caribbean. Hegseth says we'll see. They also asked him, and this is the reporter asking the question, a little sit-down interview. Did you anytime say that everybody on board should be killed? Hegseth answers, is anybody here from the Washington Post? I don't know where you get your sources, but they suck. Of course not. That opening part there, Pete, I know you're drunk and you don't know that, you're giving the game away. The way you answered this question, that opening part, tells me you gave the order. And he said it like real loud and like, of course not. That means he gave the order. And everyone knows it, Pete. Here's some more good news about the mass murders. And again, if all this is legal and above board and all that, why are we deleting video now? U.S. Navy deleted video of October 17 boat strike survivors. In this attack, 2 men were rescued and detained on U.S. Iwo Jima. Navy was ordered to delete photos, videos, ship document reveals. Were they like El Chapo's kids or something? What? Were they all fishermen and you didn't want us to see that you murdered a bunch of fishermen? Now they're deleting video. And we know about it. We still haven't seen the September 2nd video that Donnie said was done on his orders, where there was obviously a standing order by Hegseth, kill them all. We already know. It already leaked, Pete. Don't matter how many times you deny it. And again, the last strike that 4 people just got murdered on, Pete said, the message by Homeland Security or whatever, whoever put it out, under Pete Hegseth's orders. So if this strikes under Pete Hegseth's orders, wouldn't that September 2nd one be too? No? Oh, because that's the one that'll get him hung at The Hague. Unbelievable. Now they deleting video. And they haven't even shown us the September 2nd. Pete says, we'll see. And it's being reviewed. Again, Pete, Donnie, if you are not mass murderers, why can't we see the tape? Oh, because it'll make people vomit. That's how vile it is. And we're at the end. And I'm going to end it with this again. Pete Hegseth is a mass murderer. Donnie Shitbags is a mass murderer. Donnie posted on social media for all to see on his orders that September 2nd thing happened. Pete obviously gave an order of kill them all. That's why the Admiral did it. Pete's lying about leaving the room when the second strike took place. And it kind of sounds like Donnie was in the room as well, since he posted on his orders. The Admiral covered for both of them. And they went right back to mass murdering more people. And this time Pete took credit. Again, I must ask you, do you understand the level of evil that you have your name on? I suggest you get your name off. And when Donnie presents you with the option to take the mark, I suggest you say no. For your own good. Does nothing for me. That's where all this is going. Armageddon, the mark, all of it. And it's so fucking obvious. I wish it wasn't. So one more time, when the mark comes round, you must say no, or it's your ass. Have a wonderful evening.